everyone, happy Monday and welcome back to another weekly vlog. I'm very glad to have you. So today started out a bit slow. I was supposed to have therapy, and then for some personal reasons that got moved to Wednesday. So I got to sleep in a little bit, and I woke up around noon, and then I vegged for about half an hour, and then Allie and I jumped on video chat. We watched some Outlander. We watched the last 2 episodes of season 4, which was really fun. Season 4 ends on a cliffhanger, so that was fun. And now I'm in my car, obviously. I am actually at work. I got a call last night asking if I wanted to do work on a last-minute benefit performance that has performances this Tuesday and this Wednesday. And so I said yes. So I'm at rehearsal for that. Rehearsal starts in about 20 minutes. And yeah, I'm really excited. So I'll take you guys along with me as much as I can for that. And then later tonight, I'm going to see a former actors show with some friends. So that'll be really good too. So we have kind of an exciting evening planned, and I'll take you along with me, and I'm happy to have you. So yeah, come along and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, so I just finished with work, so I'm about to drive to my friend's show. It takes about 45 minutes to get there. I'm gonna drive, and work went really well. The show is super simple in terms of light cues, and there's no sound cues or projections, so very simple, not worried about it at all. But yeah, so now I'm gonna drive to my friend's show, and I'll check back in when I get there. That's all for now, and yeah. Hello. I am now back from my friend's show. The last time I talked to you, I was in the car on my way to said show. I saw my friend's production of All My Sons, which is an Arthur Miller play. I liked it a lot, but it was quite sad. We were seated on the stage. Like, when I tell you we were seated on the stage, like, we were on top of the stage. It was crazy. It was really good to see my friend and the friends that I went with. I haven't seen them in a while. Everybody is doing well, so that's really good and very exciting. Now, it is almost midnight. It's 11:55 on Monday, March 9th, and I am going to sleep. Today was a good day overall. I felt really weird today, and I think that's because I just didn't sleep super well last night, but I'm hoping to get to sleep on the earlier side and to sleep better tonight. And yeah, I'll talk to you all tomorrow morning. Till then, bye. Hello, friends. So it is Tuesday now. To be specific, it is 3:08 on Tuesday, March 10th. And I am just now starting my vlog for the day. It's been an interesting day. I set my alarm for 9:30, and then I proceeded to snooze it until noon. I have no words for that. I have no excuse for that. Yeah. It just be that way sometimes, unfortunately, and it was that way today. But once I finally woke up, I just kind of lounged around for a while, and then I went to the library to work again. I worked there this past Saturday, which is my normal shift, and then I worked there today, which I was covering someone else's shift. So I worked there from 1 to 3. And while I was there, I did some reading. I'm currently reading Crown of Midnight, as you know, and I am now on page 169. So I'm making good progress in Crown of Midnight. And yeah, had a really enjoyable day. The library was very chill, but also people were buying a lot of stuff. So that was good, and there was definitely stuff for me to do. I also am planning to start listening to Project Hail Mary on my way to work today. The movie is coming out soon, and my best friend Casey said that the audiobook is really good and definitely worth listening to. As of now, I'm going to do quite a bit of editing. I'm trying to get last week's vlog out sooner rather than later, but I still have a little bit of editing to do on it. So I'm going to do some editing, and that's about it for now. So yeah, the rest of today, as I said, I'm going to do some editing, and then I have work later tonight. We have the first performance of 2 for this benefit show that I'm working on. Tonight's performance is in English, and then tomorrow's night's performance is in Spanish. So that should be interesting. But yeah, so I have that performance tonight, and after that, I'm probably going to watch some Outlander with Allie, and that's about it. But I will vlog as much as I can, and yeah, I hope you come along, and I hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday. Bye. Hello, happy Wednesday, everyone. I am coming to you live from my car at work. I am about to head into work. I have a show tonight for that benefit performance that I've been doing this week. Tonight's performance is in Spanish, so that should be super interesting. I do speak a little bit of Spanish. I took it in high school, so I can follow along, and obviously I have a script with the Spanish words on it. And let's do a really quick check-in of how my day has gone. So my day has been good. I started the day by reading with Allie. We did our little Throne of Glass book club, and that was really fun. Some stuff happened in Crown of Midnight that was very exciting, so I won't say anything because spoilers, but yeah, it was very exciting. Then I edited. Oh, and then I had therapy because my therapy session was moved to today, as I talked about on Monday. So yeah, that's been my day, and bye for now. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday now. I normally go to Allie's on Thursday, but she is busy today. So I will not be going to Allie's and I will be chilling at home. I do have one exciting thing happening today, which is at 2:30, I have a job interview at one of the restaurants that I applied to last week. So that's very exciting. That's why I'm dressed up. But the rest of the day is going to be pretty chill. I'm going to be doing some editing. I'm going to be reading quite a bit. I'm almost done with Crown of Midnight. I have 100 pages left, so I'm definitely going to be finishing that. And maybe starting Assassin's Blade. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm doing well. I woke up this morning around like 9:30, which is pretty good for me. And yeah, I uploaded my video for last week finally. That one took a while to edit. It's pretty long, but I'm pretty proud of it. So that was exciting. And yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out. Come along and we'll see what I get up to on Thursday. Bye. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm sorry this vlog has been a little bit shorter and I've checked in less this week. To be honest, this week has been pretty boring. I am not doing much this week, and I mean, I worked this at the beginning of the week, but towards the end of the week, like yesterday and today, I'm not really doing anything, but I'm still coming on here to do a daily check-in. So how has my day gone so far? So far, it's been good. I woke up around like noon today. I've been sleeping in lately because I can. And then I had a second interview for a hostess position at a restaurant at 2:30, so I went and did that. I just got back from that. I think it went well. It's hard to tell sometimes. He seemed to like me and like what I had to say and my questions and things like that. It's just a matter of whether they will hire me knowing that I also work as a stage manager and what that looks like. I tried to explain that it's really not that cumbersome and I would be still like widely available, but we'll see if I communicated that well. I have zero plans moving forward into the rest of Friday. I have a new episode of Outlander to watch and the new episode of 911 that came out that apparently is like a big episode for Buddy, so gotta watch that. I did get caught up on 911 this past week, so that is something that I did. I also yesterday finished Crown of Midnight. You can see all of the tabs. I really liked Crown of Midnight. I do agree with some friends of mine who say that this book could have been like a second part to the first book. I do agree with that, but I didn't mind it. But there are definitely some slower moments in this book, and there are some moments where it could have definitely been shorter. But overall, I actually really enjoyed it. Some things happen in this book that I won't say because spoilers, but oh my goodness, I was not expecting them and they really took me by surprise. And yeah, so now I'm moving on to Assassin's Blade, which I don't have on me at the current moment. It's in my purse, which is back there. So far, I'm having a little bit of trouble with Assassin's Blade only because like the big reveal at the end of this one was kind of major, and now I had to put that down and like ignore that reveal to go back and learn more about Celaena's past. But I know it'll get better. People really like Assassin's Blade, so I'm going to stick with it for sure. But for now, just know I really liked it. I'm definitely going to be continuing with the series. That's about it. I hope you guys are having a good Friday, and I will let you know if anything happens with my interview. They said that they should call me tonight or tomorrow if they're interested in hiring me. So keep your fingers, toes, all the things crossed. Obviously, by the time this vlog comes out, I will know whether I got the job, but still keep those fingers crossed for me. I'm going to go watch some 911, and I will see you all in a little bit. Bye. Hello, everyone. So it is currently Saturday, March 21st, which is not anywhere near the date of the last time I vlogged. So I have quite a bit to update you on, but I just wanted to come on here and say that I just finished my shift at my restaurant and I am going to change immediately because we are required to wear long sleeves, but it's 96 degrees in Los Angeles right now. So I'm going to change, but then I'll come back on here at some point and I'll do a huge download of information of what has happened to me over the past like 10 days, because a lot has happened, as evidenced by the fact that I have a restaurant job at this point. I also attended USITT, and I have a lot to talk about with that. And just in general, I have a lot to talk about. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into vlogging. I fell off the wagon a little bit, but I'm getting back to it, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this vlog. Hello, everyone. I am back here to give you the epic download of the last 10 days of my life. They have been some of the craziest, but also most exciting days of my life. So I'm really excited to tell you all about them. But I will say, I failed as a vlogger, and I did not gross. And I did not film anything for any of these days. So it's just going to be me talking you through the days. I wish I had footage. Trust me, I wish I had footage, but I don't. It'll just be me in my little Oklahoma shirt giving you the rundown. So, which reminds me of that episode of The Office where Jim doesn't know what a rundown is. Does anyone else know what I'm referencing? I certainly hope you do. Anyway, Thursday, March 12th rolls around, and I go to my interview. It goes super well. I go in expecting to answer, your standard interview questions. And instead, it's mostly questions about how working two jobs at the same time would work sustainably for me, and also schedule-wise, which makes me think that they're going to hire me. So that makes me feel really good. So they say I'm going to hear back by the end of the day. So a couple hours later, I get a call, and they're like, hey, we want to bring you in for a second interview tomorrow with the general manager. And I'm like, cool. So I make an appointment to have an interview with the general manager. And once again, the interview was all conversation about how I would balance the two things. So I leave feeling pretty good about that interview as well. I get a call a couple hours later. I got the job. Woohoo! So I'm now officially a hostess at a restaurant in my city. I've been training for, at this point, 4 days out of 5 training days in total. So I'm feeling really good, and that's really exciting. We go out to dinner on Friday night with my parents. We celebrate getting my job and all of these kinds of things. It's great. It's amazing. Yay for that. Saturday and Sunday are pretty uneventful for me. Sunday, I filled out a bunch of paperwork for my new job. So I filled out an I-9 and a W-2 and all that kind of stuff. Yay, tax forms. But in general, Saturday and Sunday are kind of uneventful. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of watching TV, etc., etc., etc. So then Monday rolls around. That is Monday, March 16th. It is also my first day at my restaurant. Exciting, exciting, exciting. So I have therapy in the morning, because I have therapy every Monday, as I've mentioned in previous vlogs, and it goes really well. We talk about my job. We talk about my new semi-relationship. I don't know what it is. We've been on one date kind of situation with Bookstore Boy. And in general, it's a really good session. So then later that day, I go and I have my first day at the restaurant, and it goes super, super well. We do a ton of online training that particular day, and it's like rigorous and crazy, and there's so much to learn. Yeah, it's great. I get to meet another person who's being hired at the same time for also a hosting job, so that was really fun. And yeah, I'm already really excited about the people that I'm working with at the restaurant. Bookstore Boy and I also make plans to have a second date on Wednesday. So I have that to look forward to. Tuesday, March 17th, I have to get my portfolio ready, because I've signed up for a portfolio review session at USITT, which is Thursday and Friday for me of this week. It's actually Wednesday through Saturday, but I'm only going Thursday, Friday. So I get my portfolio ready. I spend like a long time on the phone with Allie crashing out because my website isn't working the way I want it to work. Wix, my man. Anyway, but eventually I get it to work. I also go to my second day of training at the restaurant. This particular day, it's also St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I completely forget it's St. Patrick's Day until I show up to the restaurant and every patron is wearing green and I'm like, oh, right. It's St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like very Irish, so I should be better about that. But Anyway, I do my training. I'm shadowing what they call an expo, which is basically a food runner. And it is super stressful. The restaurant's super busy and I leave feeling very overwhelmed, but in general, feeling okay. Wednesday, March 18th. So I have a date with Bookstore Boy planned. We're going to picnic at a park in not my city, but a city near me. And we talked about bringing books and maybe reading together. There's like a library at this park and we have cute plans, okay? We're cute. Anyway, so he takes the train in and bikes to a sandwich shop. He picks up sandwiches for us. I pick him up at the sandwich shop and we drive to the park. First, we stop at a Smart and Final to get sodas. Then we go to the park. We have, dare I say, the best date I've ever been on. We talk for like 3.5 hours straight. I get a lot of my questions answered about him and like further information about his life, and he gets similar from me. We have some really deep conversations about philosophical things and like really hot button issues in relationships, I think. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. And at the end of the date, he kisses me. So that's really cute. And it was a good kiss. I mean, it was a first kiss, so it wasn't like fabulous, but it also wasn't terrible. It was enjoyable. So I leave feeling really, really good about Bookstore Boy, which is very exciting. Then I go back to the restaurant for my third day of training. This day I am shadowing the hostess, which is actually what I'm training to do. And this day goes a lot better. I do a lot of greeting and seating, which goes super well. I build up some good rapport with the customers. I'm feeling much better after the second day. It also was something called bug night at the restaurant, which just means that the guys come in after we're closed and spray for bugs. So that means that we have to wrap like everything in the restaurant pretty much up in plastic wrap so that it doesn't get the bug chemicals on it. So it took slightly longer to close than it normally does. And that was my closing training as well. But it goes really well. I feel really good after our Wednesday shift. So now Thursday, March 19th, I'm headed to USITT. So I get in my car at 7 in the morning and I drive down. I've never been to USITT before, so I have no idea what to expect. But I get there, I go to my first session. Well, first I hang around for an hour because I got there at 8 and sessions didn't start till 9. So I get Starbucks, I find a little couch outside of the room that my session is going to be in, and I just talk to this girl, Lily. Shout out to you, Lily, if you're watching this. She was really cool. And then I go into my first session, which is a stage manager roundtable. And immediately I am like, oh, I'm going to love these 2 days. I'm going to love this conference because I get to meet so many other young stage managers, and also the panel is made up of industry professionals, seasoned stage managers, Broadway stage managers, people who have been working for 20 plus years in this industry, and it goes phenomenally. I make some friends, which is very exciting. So then after that session, we go down to the expo floor, which is the like job fair / trade show part of this conference. And it's a little overwhelming to be down there, to be completely honest. There are like a million booths and it's all in this like huge convention center room. I don't know, if you've ever been to a conference, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I also get to talk to so many cool people. I get to talk to so many companies that I have been dreaming of working for years. And I get to hand them my resume instead of just sending it into the resume black hole, as I like to call it, which is email. I get to hear about so many cool opportunities. I go back to the expo floor multiple times over the course of these 2 days. I also go to more sessions. I went to a session hosted by Carnival Entertainment. I go to a session on touring. I go to the expo floor a number of times. Overall, it goes really well. And then we find out that there's an SM Mixer at this pub that's like across the street. So I go to said Mixer, which is good for me because I never go to Mixers, but I went to said Mixer and it was lovely. It was also packed. Like, this pub was tiny and we filled it. Yeah, there was a thing with like our original reservation at a different restaurant and then it had to get moved to a pub and that was too small. And so everyone was kind of like packed to the rafters, but I got to talk to so many more young stage managers. I got to talk to more industry professionals. It was amazing. I left at like 9 p.m. feeling on top of the moon. And so I drive home. I go to sleep. I wake up on Friday morning. This is Friday, March 20th now. I wake up on Friday morning and I go and I do it all again. I drive down. I don't drive down nearly as early this time because the expo floor doesn't even open till 11. So I go at like getting there by 10. I have sessions that particular day. Oh, I also had my portfolio review on Thursday where they reviewed my portfolio. They were incredibly helpful, and shout out to them because they did a fantastic job of reviewing my portfolio and my resume. So I make all those changes to my resume. I print new resumes, and then I head down for day 2, which is actually day 3, but for me it was day 2. So I get there and I go to some sessions. I go to a session on leadership and conflict management for stage managers, which is a really, really cool session where I get to meet more young professionals. I go to a session on resetting the production calendar and what that looks like and what needs to be factored into making a production calendar in the first place, which I learn a ton at. I also run into Tori, who you've all met at this point, and Tori's dad, who works as a TD at a major theater in LA. And I finally get to meet Tori and Allie's dad. So that's really, really cool and exciting. I go to the expo floor. I get to talk to more companies. I run into a college friend of mine, which is so crazy. I did not know she was going to be there, but she works for Carnival, and so she was working the Carnival booth, and we like freaked out. We like screamed when we saw each other. It was great. I go to the cue calling lab, which is the coolest thing ever, where you get to practice calling cues, and it's based on Hamilton, specifically the 10 Dual Commandments, which is a super hard song. So I do okay. I don't do as well as I would have liked, but also I was cold calling off of a script I got like 3 seconds before I started calling cues, and they had cue light switches, which I've never worked with before. So yeah, it was a lot, but it was amazing and really, really good practice. I go out to an early dinner with Tori and her friend Saul. We chat. I fill her in on Bookstore Boy and all of that kind of stuff, and that's wonderful. Then we meet back up with Tori's dad, and we end up going to drinks at Islands with Tori's dad, his coworkers, and then a guy who runs a touring company. So that's super cool. I get to pick people's brains for like an hour and a half, and it's fantastic. And then I head home to go to dinner with my parents. I went to a really nice dinner with my parents. It is the weekend of my mom's birthday. So we went to a really nice dinner last night, and I told them about Bookstore Boy. They had some questions, which is valid because we have quite a bit of an age gap. He's older. It's not a bad thing. Like, it's not turning me off of this man, but it is something to keep in mind and something that I'm very aware of, the fact that people will have opinions about. Yeah, so that is my USITT experience in a nutshell. Now we're on today. So today I worked at the restaurant in the morning. It was my opening shift for training. It was also, I was training to be the anchor, which is the person that stays at the hostess stand the entire time and decides which tables people get assigned to. So that was really cool and fun. It was basically like stage managing, but in a restaurant instead of in a theater, and I loved it. And then I got home. I went to one more USITT panel that had a Zoom link that I could attend, so I did that. And now I'm watching Outlander with Allie, which you all know is one of my favorite things ever. And that is the update on the last 10 days of my life. So in the last 10 days, I got a job. I got into a maybe relationship. I went on a second date. I got kissed, which is great. I met like 90,000 people who are all so cool, and I want to be friends with all of them. If any of you are watching this video right now, just know I genuinely want to be friends with you. You guys are so cool. And I also get to read and watch Outlander with my friend and do all of these cool things. So I get to go to dinner with my parents. Like, I have had a great last 10 days, and the fact that I have not vlogged any of it is honestly tragic, but I promise to be better. Next week, I have work at the restaurant quite a few times in the week, but I'm also going to see Allie again, like in person, which is very exciting. And I'm going to be submitting resumes and portfolios and all of that kind of stuff to all the companies I talked to at a USITT. So I will definitely take you along for that. I'll come back at some point tonight and show you like me and Allie. I'm doing some crocheting, so I might update you on that. And then tomorrow is my mom's actual birthday, so I will be going out to dinner with my family, possibly at the restaurant where I work, which is funny. But I do get a discount, so, take advantage. So that's the update. I hope you have enjoyed this section of the vlog. If you have enjoyed this vlog at all, feel free to subscribe. I post about once a week on here, or I try to. You can also follow me on Instagram. I have my Instagram in the description. I also have my website in the description if you're interested in looking at my portfolio or any of my work as a stage manager. And that's it. I will talk to you all again tomorrow or maybe later tonight. I love you all. Peace. Hello everyone and happy Sunday. It's Sunday, March 22nd now. It's about 11:35 a.m. and I'm coming to you to do a little bit of vlogging and explain to you what the day holds for me. So today is my mom's birthday, so they're at brunch right now, and the majority of what I'll be doing today is resume work. I'm going to be updating my resume and sending it out to various places. I have a bunch of business cards and pamphlets and things from USITT, and I need to follow up. So I'm going to be sending out my resume to a couple of places like that. So I'll definitely bring you along for that. It won't be very exciting, but I'll time lapse it. And then later tonight, we have dinner for my mom's birthday. It's going to be wonderful. But until then, I'm going to do some resume work. I'm probably going to watch some TV. And yeah, that's the general plan for today. So come along. I'm excited to have you. I know there's a few more people here than the last time that I vlogged or I posted a video. If you're coming from my Instagram or from USITT, welcome. I'm very excited to have you. So yeah, that's it for now. Oh, I also wanted to update you on my crochet. So I only did one square yesterday, but I did the Shatter Me the first book of Shatter Me, which again, as I always do, I will put the cover up on the screen over here so you can see and compare. But this is what my Shatter Me square looks like. There we go. So it's got dark blue in the middle, black, white, and then a light blue, a gray, and then a light blue. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I'll definitely be making some more squares later today. I'm gonna read and watch Outlander with Allie later when she gets home from work. And yeah, that's about it for now. So stay tuned, and I will see you in another clip some point today. Bye, guys.